Hey guys, it's Matt Higgins. In today's video, we're going to go over all the different kinds of battle droids used by the Confederacy of Independent Systems. One thing to note is that this list only includes surface-based battle droids and does not include air or space-based droid systems. Alright, so starting off, we have the standard battle droid units. These battle droids represented the primary infantry force of the Confederacy of Independent Systems, or the CIS. There are two models of the standard battle droid, OOM and B1. OOM battle droids were used primarily by entities such as the Trade Federation prior to the start of the Clone Wars. These battle droids required the presence of a command ship and an organic commander to function. OOM battle droids were used throughout the Clone Wars, but were in the process of being phased out. OOM battle droids are organized into 4 different types. The standard OOM battle droids were unmarked and carried an E5 blaster rifle and a control box on their back. These battle droids were the most common and represented the main grunts of the Separatist forces. The OOM Commander battle droids possessed the same frame as the standard battle droids, but had yellow markings on their body and head. These battle droids were slightly more intelligent and were programmed to command smaller units of other battle droids. They still required the leadership of a living commander to function, however. OOM Pilot battle droids also had the same construction as the standard battle droids, but were distinguished by blue markings on their shoulders and lower abdomen. Pilot battle droids were especially programmed to pilot non-droid vehicles such as star cruisers or droid transports. The OOM security battle droids, just like the other variants, were only distinguishable due to their designated red markings on their shoulders and abdomen. Security battle droids programming was specialized to focus on protecting their commanders and other high-ranking superiors. Typically, whenever security droids were present, a Separatist leader was nearby. OOM battle droids were slowly replaced by B1 battle droids throughout the Clone Wars. B1 battle droids were similar to OOM battle droids, except that the B1s were independent and did not require a command ship in the system. These droids were more intelligent than their OOM predecessors, but were not intelligent enough to complete assignments without a commander. This increase in intelligence allowed for more types of battle droids. B1 rocket battle droids specialized in searching for enemy escape pods. These droids were painted entirely orange and gray and possessed a rocket pack and a headlamp. B1 firefighter battle droids were used for extinguishing fires aboard Separatist ships. These droids were painted entirely black-gray with red markings on their head and yellow stripes on the arms, ankles, and body. Instead of carrying the standard E5 blaster rifle, these droids had fire hoses and larger backpacks. Finally, B1 Grapple Droids were used by the CIS as melee combat specialists. These droids were armed with melee claws instead of E5 blaster rifles. B2 battle droids, sometimes referred to as super battle droids, were superior to B1 battle droids in many ways. However, they still required a living commander or tactical droid to function. B2 battle droids were first introduced in the inaugural battle of the Clone Wars on Geonosis. They possessed stronger armor and had E5 blasters integrated into each wrist. Later B2 variants were introduced throughout the Clone Wars. The B2 Heavy Weapons Battle Droid, or the B2HA, were standard B2 battle droids that carried only one E5 blaster. Instead of carrying a second E5 blaster, it carried a homing rocket launcher. The B2 Rocket Droid, or B2RP, was a green and white standard B2 battle droid. These battle droids had jetpacks and were capable of infiltrating enemy ships externally. An upgraded model of the B2 Rocket Droid was put in service during the Clone Wars. Finally, the B2 Grapple Droid was the superior successor to the B1 Grapple Droid. It still focused on hand-to-hand combat, but possessed the stronger body of a B2 battle droid. BX Commando Droids served as the special forces for the CIS. These droids offered substantial improvements over the standard B-1 battle droids. Commando droids were more agile and intelligent. They were also much more resilient, being able to continue fighting despite non-critical limb losses. Additionally, Commando droids had a far greater range of vocabulary and could even change their voice to imitate clone troopers. These droids were quite expensive to produce and were thus limited to only the most important of missions. Droidicas were another type of special droid used to deal with highly skilled targets. These droids possessed 2 heavy blaster cannons and a personal deflector shield. Droidica shields were strong enough to make any primary blaster fire useless. The droids rolled to move long distances, but this required them to lower their shields, making them vulnerable. Additionally, their shields could not repel slow-moving objects. Droidicas were seen during the Naboo Crisis and throughout the Clone Wars. A sniper variant of the Droidica was introduced later in the Clone Wars that did not possess 2 laser cannons, but instead had a single, high-powered sniper. IG-100 droids, or Magna Guards, were droids equipped with electro-staffs that could deflect lightsabers. These droids were capable of fighting Jedi even with their head removed. Because of these attributes, General Grievous chose the Magna Guards as his primary bodyguards. Finally, Aqua Droids were used by the Confederacy of Independent Systems to engage in combat on water worlds. These droids were significantly taller than B-1 battle droids, carrying retractable blasters and propellers to move them around in water. So that's about it, guys. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, and subscribe for more prequel related content, including lore, discussions, as well as anything canon about the prequel trilogy. Thanks, guys, and may the Force be with you.